Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to episode number 10, live stream episode number 10 of the Old Guys Farms Challenge. We basically took a day off. We didn't do any streaming and we didn't do any farm sim gameplay at all on Sunday. I gave you two episodes on Saturday morning of this challenge and we are back. So basically all of our information should be the same as what it was the last time we streamed. That was Friday. So we'll go ahead and click continue and get right into the gameplay here. We don't need to add any mods or deactivate anything. We're just going to kind of go with this right here and get started with our live stream. So hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. I need to tighten my shifter here. Pretty much I have to almost disassemble my desk setup whenever I switch from Flight Sim to any of the other simulation-based games that I play, including Farm Sim. Pretty much my setup for Farm Sim is the same as it is for Euro Truck and for ATS. So basically that's just some food for information there. So let's get right into it. We're going to kind of bushwhack our way through that bush there and then come over and go ahead and collect our eggs. And then we will kind of take a look because honestly, I need to sort of refresh my memory. Even though we just really did two live streams on Saturday, I am sort of at a little bit of a loss as far as what is going on. So this is basically midsummer. So I believe this is summer day 3. It's what this would be classified as. Hello, Darren Montana. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping back by once again. So let's just kind of look at our crops here and just kind of see where they are. They're still in the growing stage. Everything should be fully fertilized. We did all that in the previous episodes and everything. And I think what we will do is we will start this day off by going over here and we'll check the water levels for various things. And we'll get in our tractor and let me just take a look at our animals really quick. And they're okay on the water, but let's just go ahead and top them off because why not? We will just do that because we're here. All right, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and I hope that your Monday was potentially as smooth as possible for you. My Monday was okay. Was okay. Certainly was. Been back to work for basically a week now. So I came back to work last Monday from vacation after having been off for 10 days. So that was quite nice. And yeah, just kind of getting back into the usual grind and everything. That always takes a little bit of effort there. And of course, the first week is always the hardest back because there's generally a lot to do. And as I have said before, potentially maybe not in the live stream, but in my Let's Play videos, I'm pretty much the only person that does kind of what I do. And so when I'm away, believe it or not, no one is there to do the work for me. So I kind of have to work hard in the days and everything leading, maybe a week or two leading up to vacation. And then obviously I have to kind of work hard in the days following a vacation. And sort of, it's kind of funny because by the time Friday got around to things of last week, of course I'm talking about, it sort of felt like that I hadn't even been on vacation at all, and that's just kind of the way that it goes. I really can't remember if we had did any work with our greenhouses the last time that we were here in the previous game day, so it's possible that we may not have had to do this, but it's okay. It's all in a day's work, and like I said, it's always best to make sure that these things are running to their tip-top optimum because it is good money that we get from this. Well, decent money, especially it will be over the 3-year span, and certainly don't want to let a penny go to waste that we could collect, because I would hate for I would hate for things to come down to basically the winner versus the losers by being something as silly as, sort of letting your lettuce production go a few hours, or maybe not collecting a few eggs, because again, it's kind of free money. It's all just there. Okay, so these are done, and I tell you what we will do here is we'll hop out and we'll just check. Manure level is at 54%. So I tell you what we might do is we might do the manure this evening before we basically end the stream. So that might be something to do. Most likely we're going to be cutting wood again today. We really don't have anything else to do. I don't really, I don't think that with regards to kind of how I want to run things, run the farm, run the operations and everything, mowing is not really something that I think we will do on a large scale. We may do some mowing just to get some hay, and then again, maybe we will actually decide to just buy hay bales if it's going to come out cheaper that way, if it's going to come out better that way, then we might just do that. But right now we're just kind of waiting in sort of standby mode for our crops to come ready to harvest, and then of course we will decide on which harvester we're going to lease. So I sort of remember bringing that up as a discussion point in maybe not the last episode, but maybe the episode before that. We did talk about what I should do as far as lease or buy, and I really think that it's going to be in our best interest to just lease, because it's not going to be anything that we're going to use more than, I would say, 2 or 3 game days. 3 probably at best, at least the first year. Hopefully by the second, or certainly by the 3rd year, hopefully we will own a few more fields. And let's see, now where did we leave our Scorpion King? Perhaps up here. Hopefully nobody came and stole it while we weren't using it. Yep, it's right over there. So we're just gonna, I think we're gonna kind of continue in this general area here. What I would kind of like to do, maybe, if it certainly works out this way for us, is to just kind of continue to try to make somewhere in the neighborhood of around $100,000 perhaps a day. And if we kind of look at our previous days here, if we pull over here to that screen, let's see, is it here? Is it on this screen? Nope. Right here on this screen. Sold wood. I mean, since we've started selling wood, which I'm guessing maybe Saturday was the first day that we did that, we've averaged about 90-something thousand per each of those days. So maybe if we can kind of continue that, and then of course once we can start harvesting, we will probably have got a little bit of a strategy with regards to harvesting, I think, that we will do. And of course we've talked to these fine people here that run the egg resale point, and they're okay with us cutting these trees down, because clearly that is something that we would want to make sure that we ask for permission before doing so. Let me just check to make sure. Yep, we're good to go on 8 meters. And anyway, so I think, again, we're just going to kind of fill our days, our time with cutting some wood and then selling some wood. And we'll probably try to utilize the daylight hours to do as much cutting as we possibly can. Maybe we'll cut for about a half day, and then come in and haul this to the lumber yard, to the sawmill. And see if we can keep that average up, and then of course we'll find some gold nuggets here, there, and wherever they might be lying, and then supplement things that way. But certainly not gonna want to spend all that money. I also hope that you've all been taking time to watch some of the other live stream challenge folks that are participating in the challenge. Farmer Klein is doing a fantastic job. Man, that guy was certainly busy over the weekend, and I forget what I noticed his episode number being up to, but it's going to take me a little while to get caught up with him, and I've been watching a few of the others as well. And again, just kind of, you know, not really trying to get a understanding of what they're doing for any sort of competitive reason. You know, I certainly don't want to do that. We're all sort of doing something a little different, and I think we're all focused on having fun at the same time. But certainly like all their strategies. And of course, we'll just have to wait and see who obviously ends up with the best strategy. I need to take just a moment here, and I need to pull up my my trusty spreadsheet here so that I make sure that I remember to give you guys the word of the day. And pull that up, that way I won't forget. So did anybody do anything fun over the weekend? We've got about 5 folks watching the stream. Chat is awfully quiet, so you guys feel free to chat, ask questions if you have any, talk about anything that you pretty much want to talk about as we crash the gazebo there with our tree. But did anybody do anything fun over the weekend? What was your tasks? Did you have any projects that you completed? Did you go anywhere? Did you see anything? Go to a movie or something like that? If you were watching my stream on Saturday morning, you know that I was ending the stream because my wife had come up with a honeydew project that I needed to do, and it was kind of a project that I had, well, I will say we had put off for a little while. It was basically building a step for a new deck that I built 2 summers ago. And you might think, well, why did I wait so long to put the step in, and how did we manage? Well, it wasn't that high of a deck to begin with, and we were kind of contemplating on just how we would go about and what we would actually do, whether we would go with a paver stone type step and then leading into like a pathway or a walkway, and or if we would actually build the deck out of the same material that, or the step out of the same material that I had built the deck out of, which was that Trex, sort of that plastic, artificial kind of wood that never rot, no maintenance, doesn't need to be sanded, doesn't need to be stained every year. You know, that was, I tell you, we had two pretty good sized decks on our house, and both of them was the old, you know, 2 by 6, 2 by 8, something like that, with stained. And each year, of course, I had to just kind of wash them and power wash them, and then stain them, and all that stuff, and it was certainly a chore. And so with the Trex stuff, it's nice to not really have to do that. You just basically wash it down. I just power wash it a couple of times a year, really about the beginning of summer, and then again about midway through or so. And that's about all that's got to be done with it. I mean, it's pretty low maintenance, low cost stuff. We put a nice rail around it and the whole thing. But anyway, we had kind of was stuck in determining what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do all of that, and so we finally made the decision that I would just build the step out of Trex, and so that's what I did. And I think we'll still probably do a paver stone pathway, but that'll that'll have to be probably another project for next year. I spent, obviously it being a step, I spent most of my time low to the ground on my knees at a few points, and my old knees sort of realized that they can't be in that position for a long period of time anymore. Quiet night. I guess everybody is got other things going on. That's fine. Still gotta do the work here. So regardless of whether we have a lot of folks tuned in or not, we still gotta get stuff done. Just simply because, well, November is going to be here again. Like I've said many times, it'll be here before we know it, and I just want to make sure that I don't have any problems in getting all the work done. And I don't think I will. I found out a little bit more about the second business trip. It's more work that we're doing to one of our data centers, and so it's going to kind of be one of those all hands on deck kind of things. So they're bringing in folks from other offices and everything, and so it should only be, if it actually does happen, it should actually only be for about 3 days, probably 4 tops, and we'll know a little bit more as time goes by, as far as, you know, how long I'll be away and what days and all that kind of stuff. Had a bear of a time actually getting connected to YouTube tonight. There was an issue every time I went to pull up the live streaming page, basically so I can keep an eye on chat. Of course, I'm streaming through Restream, which also puts our feed out on Twitch as well. And but I like to have the page, even though I can see the chat from all 3 services that I'm streaming to with Restream chat, I still like to have YouTube chat pulled up, just simply because if I need to do any moderation or things like that, I've got that control panel to be able to do that. Plus it also tells me what my stream health and everything like that is, and gives me a pretty general idea of how things are going on. And I just kept getting a page error each time I tried clicking on live stream. And I've also heard from a few other streamers that odd things have been going on, and of course some of Farmer Klein's videos have been chopped off after about 10 minutes or so, so not really sure what's up with that. I've not yet to experience that in the last couple of weeks. I had experienced something similar to that a couple of months ago when I was more actively doing some live streaming stuff. I had streamed for maybe about an hour and a half, and the archive that was saved to YouTube was only about 15 minutes long. But you know, I suppose that things happen. But I think at least 2 of Farmer Klein's videos have been sort of chopped off or shortened some reason or another. Don't think it's anything that he's doing. I think it's just the gremlins within YouTube are doing something with the video that they shouldn't be doing to them. These are some nice tall trees here, so these will net some nice money, I think, hopefully. other than just being a little bit of sort of the same work over and over and over, this Scorpion King certainly makes logging a little bit more fun than certainly doing it with a chainsaw or using some of the other smaller equipment. Of course, I can suspect if I don't get this done before September, and I'm sure I won't get this done before September, not with being out for a week or so with work stuff, but I can see where Monday nights might also be a bit dead around here once football season gets started, if folks are football fans. I myself, I'm a football fan, sort of depending on who's playing, of course. And of course, if anybody's watching that isn't familiar with what in the world I'm doing and why I'm doing it and all that kind of stuff, this is a Old Guy Farmer challenge, and all the information and sort of all the details as far as the rules. Oops, that's gonna hit that Bronco, but it looks like they just kept on driving. Anyway, it's an old guy farmer challenge, and basically all the rules and all the guidelines and information and everything are posted for you to view down below. And so that is all the gist of what's going on and why I'm doing things. And of course, the whole concept of the challenge is for those that are participating, is to basically find out at the end of 3 years. We are playing 3 years, so basically 72 episodes. We'll find out who has the best process and procedure and all that good kind of stuff. And then we will see who's got the most money. But I think also, I think most of us are also playing it because we enjoy the game. So therefore, we're wanting to have fun. And even though it's a competition, I think having fun is obviously a good thing. Make sure that we always have fun. Oops, I will certainly run over logs if they're there. course, there's about, I guess there's about 6 or 7. I need to check probably Discord tomorrow and make sure that no one else has joined. I've got all of the 5 or 6 or 7 or so folks that I know about. I've got their YouTube channels all linked below. Hello, Jedco66. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. But I've got all those streamers listed down below, and I think pretty much everybody has got sort of a different strategy or a different idea as far as what's going to work best, what's going to sort of earn them the most money. And of course, I think we all think our strategy is the best. And of course, time will tell. Time will tell as to who's got it going on and who doesn't. And I think partly that's kind of why I want to try to keep my amount of revenue that's coming in as much as possible at least until we start harvesting. I want to try to earn about, anywhere from 90 to 100,000 on logging, because if we can just kind of continue to do that sort of day in and day out, then that will certainly help us, because we have already paid for the logging equipment that we purchased in order to be able to do this, and partly it was for the option to be able to put the money into fields, and that is obviously what we will do. We will also put some money into sheep, but of course we're going to wait, and we're going to buy sheep when the sheep prices are a little bit lower. Sheep are obviously cheaper to buy in the fall and winter time than they are in the spring. They are most productive in the springtime. And of course, that is when we bought our 25 head. And hello, Ross Redmond. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. And of course, we will invest whatever we make off the wool. We'll turn around and reinvest that into the sheep, because I think that's probably the best thing to do there. We'll keep that going. And like I said, if we need to, obviously we're going to need hay, so that's no question about that. We only had 8 bells to start with, but we've only had to use 2 of those. But I'm sure that by the time the year is over with, that will be gone. But it might just make sense to just buy bells rather than buy a mower, buy a tedder, and buy a baler, because again, we only would need those things for a small amount of time. Now, suppose you could say, well, we could lease those, and we could certainly do that. But then again, the amount of time that it would take to actually do those tasks, compared to what we could actually spend logging, would probably be more counterproductive, and it would probably just be best for us to just drive to the store and pick up 8 or 16 bells or whatever and just call it good, because obviously right now I don't know if we're going to get into other animals. There are certainly no requirements to do animals at all. Some of the guys are not doing animals at all. Others are doing all of the animal types. I had sort of said that maybe we might consider cows, but if we're going to, most likely if we're going to do cows, then I would probably at that point say that, well, we would at least need to go ahead and either rent or invest and purchase in the adequate equipment that we would need to be able to do that. Because of course then we would be talking about the need of hay, grass, silage, etc. So speaking of silage, Farmer Klein is, that's his business. That's how he's planning on winning the competition, is through mowing and turning those grass bells into silage bells, into dollar signs. And he has already, the episode that I watched today, I don't remember what number it was, but it was one that he had recorded, I believe, over the weekend or very late last week. He is cutting grass, and he's doing a good job at it. He's got a process down, and If you don't know, of course, who I'm talking about, Farmer Klein, you can find his YouTube channel listed down below. Farmer Klein's one of my friends, and his channel is always listed down below. Farmer Klein does excellent map reviews. And it's probably one of the best that I know of as far as the type of review that he does and the thoroughness and everything that he puts into it. Quite interesting what he does. We're just going to continue to cut trees on down this road here, and then at some point we'll go and start hauling some trees to the mill. But I think that while it's daylight anyways, it'll be a lot easier for us to cut because we can see things a little bit better than we can at nighttime, and we can certainly haul wood at nighttime. And of course, our working hours are basically approximately 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. We do have to work during that period of time. After 9 o'clock or 2100 hours, we can use the built-in skip night feature that the Seasons mod allows us to do. You basically hit Alt N, and what it does is it skips night. And the cool thing about it is that based on seasons, obviously during the summer our days are longer. During the fall, winter, and early spring our days are shorter. And so what the Seasons mod skip nights feature does is it begins our work day at different times, basically at sunrise. And so I think the very first day or two that we played, it started this at about 6 a.m. And of course, we've been getting a little bit earlier start the last few game days. Around 4:30, I think, was like the earliest that I remember sort of seeing. So that's why if you're looking at the archive, the live stream archive, that's kind of why you're seeing episodes at different lengths. Usually it takes about, if the game day is a little shorter, it takes about a little over an hour to do the work that we need to do, from roughly 6 to 9. If the game days are a little longer, they've been running about an hour 15, something like that, an hour 20. Now we could work 24 hours if we wanted to. One of the things that I have tried to do is try to stick to as much realism as possible. Now, of course, the realism kind of gets broken when we do the auto-loading trailer, just simply because there's no rule against it, and B, we just don't have the time, because as you're noticing, we're playing in 15x speed, and that is also a requirement of the challenge. That's not just me choosing to do that. If I could do it at a slower speed, we'd certainly take that option, but that is one of the requirements of the challenge, is for all of us to play at 15x speed with 6 game days per season. And of course that's what we have set up, but yeah, manually logging the logging trailer would just take way too long. Alright, one more little tree down here. Of course, some of these trees are going to be a little more valuable than others. It's all about how much timber, how much board feet are in a tree. And of course, the longer, the better. So some of these are a bit short, but you know, we're just going to go ahead and take them if they're there and call it good. Alright, so it is 1:30 in the afternoon. We're going to continue our cutting quest here. Let's see, what do we have down here? We've got a few down here. We'll just go down this direction and stay on this side of the road, and maybe we'll cut this stand of trees down and then take a look and see what time it is. And then if it makes sense, then we'll just leave the Scorpion King down here, and then the next day we can just kind of start on that other side and work our way back up. For the challenge itself, just about all mods are allowed. The only mod that is not allowed by name is the game extension mod, just because it would allow for superhuman strength, and one might, decide to use that versus use a bell fork or something to move a bell around or something like that. And then of course equipment mods are certainly allowed to use, pending that they have reasonable price, both cost to purchase as well as a reasonable daily maintenance cost. That just kind of keeps things fair. But if there's a mod that is a little bit cheaper to use than, say, something that's in game, then certainly can use that, again, just as long as it's a bit fair. For example, the Ford tractor that, if you were watching at the beginning of the episode, that I was using to haul water and stuff, that is a mod. That's one of the contest mods, and it had a relatively low purchase price compared to some of the other newer equipment. Of course, it is based on an older style tractor, so horsepower and everything fits within the guidelines. Are we on it or not? Trying to think of a good code word or a good word of the day, and of course with the word of the day, if you are interested, and if you've seen below, I am giving away 3 copies of the brand new Farm Sim 17 Platinum Expansion Package that will be coming out in November. And the way that you can win a copy of that is to basically watch my episodes, and during each episode I provide a word of the day. And with that word of the day, there's information down below the video on how you basically redeem that word of the day to be entered for the drawing. And then come November 6th, and that's a Sunday. So the contest, the challenge has to be done by November the 1st. And then on November the 6th, I will do a drawing for the 3 prizes, the 3 giveaway items. The actual DLC doesn't come out until November the 14th or the 15th, I believe. So certainly don't pre-order, and I don't think you can pre-order yet anyway, but certainly don't pre-order until you at least find out if you have won, because the more you watch, the more you listen and watch my videos and get the code words, the better chance you're going to get of winning. Because again, you could, if you wanted to, I hope you will, you could listen and watch all 72 episodes and essentially enter the drawing 72 times. And of course, like everything else in life, the more you play or the more you watch, the better chances you are going to have at winning. That's how all that works. Okay, we're going to do just a few more of these trees here, because coming up on basically 3 o'clock, the sun will be setting soon, and we probably have I can look and see how much we've cut down this during this session, but I think around 80 or 90, 70 or 80 trees, 90 trees, something like that is our kind of our target point. That is what gets us around $100,000 or so. So let's just kind of pause right quick, and we can see how many trees we've cut down. Maybe that's over here. So 51 trees cut down right now, so we need to do a few more. Now my friend Rubber Burner, of Rubber Burner Gaming, and you'll find his YouTube list down below. Now he is, unless he's changed, and he was live streaming just a few minutes ago, and I did not have a chance to watch his stream. I was actually having dinner. I just got home from work, and I noticed that he was streaming. He is pretty much his entire operation is going to be forestry. It's going to be timber work. So you've got a couple of extremes. You've got Farmer Klein, who's pretty much doing just grass and silage, and then you've got Rubber Burner, who is doing timber work. Oh, come on. There we go, finally got it. Rubber Burner is doing all timber work. I'm kind of doing a variation of traditional farming, and then also just sort of killing time, if you will, waiting for the crops to grow, doing some forestry. Now, of course, in year 2 and year 3, my free time to do forestry might be somewhat shortened just a little bit, because obviously I do plan to add a few more fields kind of as we go. But I did add one field this year, first year, and decided that would basically be enough. And really, in the grand scheme of things, the amount of seeds and fertilizer that we sort of started off with, that we were sort of either gifted, if you want to consider it gifted, or what was placed in the map itself, that was able to provide us everything that we needed to get all of our fields planted. We planted 4 fields of barley, wheat, canola, and soybean. And we were able to do all of that with only having to purchase one extra container or pallet of liquid fertilizer. So, in theory, next year our fertilizer cost should be somewhat less, because we essentially will use manure, or at least that's kind of what I'm thinking we're going to do. We're going to use manure. We're going to use the manure mod, which gives us a manure bonus, or a fertilizer bonus, which basically allows us to get credit for double the fertilizer with just by basically spreading fertilizer and then cultivating that fertilizer in. Some of them are some of them just don't want to go sometimes. Of course, it also helps to be somewhat centered on the tree as well. Oh well, that was my bad. Good thing we've got the heavy-duty 4-wheel drive version of the Scorpion King, right? All right. So let's kind of see what we've got going on here. I was hoping to find a gold nugget or two during this whole off-road adventure. All right, we'll take these last few down here, and then we'll call this area pretty much done, and then we'll just see what we get for hauling this in. Hopefully maybe these will be just a little bit taller, or the majority of them will be a little bit taller, and kind of equal out. Either way, however much we actually net today, it's all pretty much clear profit, because like I said, we've paid for our Scorpion King, we've paid for the semi, we've paid for the trailer, all that. The rest of it is just money in our bank. Whatever works, whatever gets the tree down off the mountain and gets it in the stack. That was a nice long tree. One more really tall tree right over here. I definitely want to get that sucker. But to get it, we're going to take the smaller one out first. Because otherwise that little one will just get lonely living up here all by itself. Alright, that's going to do it for our log cutting. We will now drive this up and get the semi and basically bring it down and start loading wood and hauling it to the sawmill. Oh, looks like a tornado came through here. All right, And we'll start our auto load. Slow and steady, remember? Otherwise those logs just kind of fly all over the place and it's kind of hard to get a full load. Obviously we want to make as few trips as possible. So we have roughly 280,000. So we'll just kind of see how much this brings us in before it's all said and done. It's a slow process, but it pays well. I certainly don't think that we could make this kind of money doing other things while we're here. We're going to go and sell our eggs right quick, because this is a much easier sell point to get to than taking them all the way downtown. And of course, the last time we sold eggs, we sold about $500 worth, so it had been a while since we had actually emptied our backpack, and well, we certainly don't want those eggs to spoil. Don't want to look in our backpack one day and have a bunch of baby chickens living in there. Oops! Stop! 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 Come on. Hang on. There we go. All right. Hello, Lane Romney. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. A little bit quiet tonight on the stream. Not many people are chatting, so unfortunately I've kind of run out of things to kind of set up here and talk about, because a lot of my energy, a lot of what I talk about comes directly out of the chat. So certainly hope you're having, God, as I look over in well, I did this once before on the very first day. Well, that was a waste of money, because we lost an entire load of wood. All right, no more looking at my chat when I'm driving. That was probably about $25,000 down the tubes. All right, but nobody's fault other than my own. Unload into space. Yeah, that's right. That just kind of, you know, anytime you reset a vehicle or something like that, it does tend to do that. Let me just unload these because they will obviously not load up correctly. Anyway, if you reset, like say, for example, reset a grain, like a tipper or something like that, if something happens to it, you get it stuck or something like that, you're gonna basically lose the grain in it. It goes to the giants, gods, or whatever. So okay, gonna pay better attention. Not gonna look at the chat, at least when I'm driving on a curve. Hello, Mark DuPont. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. By the way, I saw your message in Discord, and yes, I was at work today, but it was not my first day back. Actually, last week was my first week back. But Much better. You have to auto unload on the high side when that happens. Oh, so if I would have switched it over to the right side, um, if I would have switched it over to the right side, it would have kept the wood. Well, that's good to know. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. That's good to know. You know, it's always a good thing when you can learn something new. And I try to learn something new each and every day. Fortunately, I should say, I'm in a job that learning things, working in the IT field, is actually something that I do learn about a lot. I learn new things. Of course, some things I actually forgot. You know, it's things that maybe I should have known, or stuff that I may have known at one time, but sort of either forgot or just didn't remember that I knew what it was. Oddly enough, I'm about to, for the first time in my IT career, end up having to learn something pretty complex, at least for my mind, is we're going to start using more Apple MacBooks within the corporate world, and I have forever just been supporting Windows systems, and of course I do some Linux and stuff like that as well. But all right, unload these guys. Maybe our wood buyer will feel sorry for us and give us, like, you know, double the price of our wood, since we've, you know. But also maybe we can look at it as, you know, that was a sacrifice that we made to the giants gods, and they'll be good to us for everything else that we've got going on. All right, we're gonna pass some of these Sunday drivers, because they drive slow around these parts. It's just kind of what they do, I think, to aggravate us for sure. So time is passing by pretty quick. It's almost 2000 hours. And of course, we only have to farm, or we only have to work up to 2100 hours, 9 o'clock, but we're going to at least try to sell as much of this wood as possible in this game day. Try to keep that average going, as I talked about before, but sort of the wind was knocked out of my sails, I think, when we let that load roll over. The first time that it happened, I was quite lucky. I forget who all was on the stream, and I think it was the first or second, third stream, something like that. I was actually pulling into the lumber yard, the sell point back there, and it rolled, but I was able to kind of just keep reversing and turning the steering wheel, and it basically righted itself up. But to no avail. That just would not work this time, but that's okay. We learn a lesson. We learn a lesson to certainly be careful and not take our eyes off the action whenever we're going around a turn. And we start all over again. Some of these short sticks won't earn us very much money, but it's all, you know, it's all penny saved is a penny earned, as they say. And we'll take it, because it could very well come down to just that. It could come down to just a few dollars separating the true leader, the true winner, from the rest of the pack. And that's kind of why I make sure that we do our eggs twice a day, and we make sure that we keep the sheep watered and fed and cleaned. And that's something I probably should have done first thing this morning, is cleaned up after those sheep. I didn't do that, but we'll make sure that we do that before we end the stream in this game day. All right, there's another load. I am seriously gun shy right now, as you can tell. I am not flying around the corners as I did before. Let's see, Mark says, though I don't buy Mac myself, I use them professionally all the time. Same Intel base, so it's actually easy to switch back and forth. Yeah, we've got you know, more and more of our folks that are coming in to the organization, to the company, are more, I think, would be of benefit to a Mac. I think probably 10 or 15 years ago, or maybe let's say like 10 years ago, most of the Mac world was sort of focused on education and you know, graphic design and stuff like that. And I really think that the Mac OS, as well as the hardware itself, has matured more to fit more into the into the corporate type world. And so there's a lot of different things that I think people can do with a Mac, and probably do them a lot better than PC. So I'm happy to see it if it's going to make, you know, if it's going to make people more productive and make people, you know, make people happy and all that good stuff. No, this is PC. Hello, Bipolar Prophet BP. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this is PC. Basically, this map is only available for PC. And the lights have come on. BP, I still need to finish your video today, and I will do that. Probably try to get that done tomorrow. I don't know, it almost has the feeling that we are getting a little bit more per wood, because we spilt that first load. So maybe the sawmill guys feel sorry for me, because I think we started at about 280, and this is only our I better play nicey. We'll pass him here on the straightaway. Gosh, it sure was hot today, where I am anyways. Don't know about in your neck of the woods, but it was a warm day. I think we hit 95 again today. And I know in some parts of the country it gets a lot hotter than that, but in Denver we don't see very many days, or at least very many consecutive days in mid-90s. We do have our share. We even have some triple digits. They're kind of rare. Maybe a few days of above 100 per year. But yesterday it was in the mid-90s. It was nice when I was out doing that project, the honeydew project that I had to do on Saturday. It was actually quite nice. It was only about 80 degrees, and that made things quite nice. Hey BP, did you see that PMDG is very close to releasing the is that the DC6 for FSX and P3D? Is that something that interests you? That type of aircraft, or are you more into jets? All right, let's see. Can we get that last little stick on here? It would be kind of foolish to leave that guy. Of course, the problem is we'll probably there we go. I've often thought that, of course, when I really got exposed to PMDG aircraft was with the 747 back in the FSX days. And I thought that was the most complex thing that I had ever operated in FSX. And of course, just with everything else, a little practice, it all becomes second nature. The more you do it, the more flights you take. You know, you sort of start off by following checklists and all that kind of stuff, but then after a while, you kind of figure it out, and you can do things without having to read your notes or whatever. But that DC6, I think that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Well, I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to fly anymore. I was actually poking around on the British Airways virtual site yesterday, actually it was, looking around and thinking if I wanted to join again. We were talking about Matt Davis the other night. I signed up to his Project Fly probably a year and a half ago or so, when it was kind of still in its infancy. And that's kind of a cool way to go, because you can, you know, if you want to, a lot of these VAs kind of have issues with you flying for, you know, multiple VAs, and kind of that concept is you can kind of, if you want to fly a British Airways flight, you can do it. If you want to fly an American flight, if you want to fly competing kind of things, you just do it. Just do whatever you want to do. But I was a member of BAV several years ago, and kind of life got in the way, as it tends to do from time to time, and ended up having to just kind of step away, because, you know, I hate not being able to meet commitments. You know, that just drives me up the wall. My father taught me to always do what I need to do, always do what's expected of me. All right. I don't know, we may still get our 100,000 even with that spilt load of logs. All right, well, I think I will give you guys the word of the day. I think I am a little more tired than kind of what I thought I was. I haven't been talking as much. The stream also hasn't been as lively tonight as it has been in past nights, and that's nobody's fault. But let's see. Our word of the day today is Monday. M-O-N-D-A-Y. That is the word of the day, Monday. So you can get complete information on how you enter the drawing down below. There's a link. It'll take you to my Discord channel, and I've got all of the rules of the competition as far as how you report back the word of the day back to me, so that I know that you watched the episode enough to get the word of the day. And then you email that to me, and then I will enter you into the drawing. And then I will do the drawing. It's kind of hard to see where all the wood pieces are, but anyway, I will do the drawing on the 6th of November. And the 6th of November is a Sunday. And of course, this little challenge has to be wrapped up by November 1st. And hopefully we'll get all that done by then. And the DLC doesn't actually release until the 14th or 15th of November, so you will know certainly before the DLC is released whether or not you won. So certainly don't pre-order until you know, and then that way, then if you don't win, then you can go ahead and pre-order and take advantage of the new DLC, because that should be cool. Sugarcane, right? Sugarcane and some South America farming. Well, you are welcome, BP. It's been quite easy, buddy. You know, I haven't known you as long as other people obviously have, but I've certainly enjoyed it. I've learned a lot from you, albeit sometimes via, you know, like Reefy 1952. He has certainly shared a lot of the things that he has learned through you with many of us, and it's been great. All right, I think you know, I've been ending these streams at 11, or I'm sorry, around 9 o'clock, and we're coming up on midnight. And if we don't end the stream at midnight, then it basically means that I've got to go all the way till 6 o'clock in the morning, and I've tried not to do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stream up here, and I just need to basically head back to the farm, because I kind of like to start where we left off, and hopefully I can get there before midnight, although I don't think I will be able to. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to stop here. This is Ed's shack, and Ed's told us that we can always stop by here and basically kip for the night if we need to. So we're going to get out here, and I'm going to go ahead and save really quick just in case something happens. Don't want things to crash, and I will do Alt-N, and we will rest for another day at the farm. And then it is 5:24 in the morning, and I will go ahead and save the game and go ahead and end the stream. So thank you all so much for watching. It's kind of been a little bit of a relaxed sort of a relaxed stream, I think, just because I haven't been very high energy, and the chat hasn't been very high energy either. But the word of the day is Monday, so you guys can basically turn that word of the day into an entry into the contest. So I'm just writing down the word of the day into my spreadsheet, so I'll know what that is whenever I start getting emails from folks. And thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it very much, and most likely I will stream again tomorrow night, and we will kind of finish up where we left off. We'll probably need to make sure that we start by cleaning up the sheep and keep that 100% productive, all that good stuff. And so, and then probably do some more logging, just rinse and repeat, because that's what we kind of do. Hello, Eli Webb. Welcome to the stream, and thanks for watching. Take care, my friends. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I do require you to be a subscriber to enter the contest. And other than that, slap that like button as well. That'll help out so much. So take care, and we'll see you on down the road. Bye-bye.